Once upon a time, there was a loving young couple named Azibo and Mahnoor. Azibo, a wealthy businessman, deeply cared for his wife. Shortly after their wedding, Mahnoor discovered that her pregnancy had exceeded the expected 9 months, and she needed to undergo a scan to determine the reason for the delay. Azibo accompanied Mahnoor to the laboratory for the scan, where they received the joyful news that Mahnoor was actually pregnant with twins. Their hearts overflowed with happiness at the double blessing. The next day, Azibo eagerly went to the market to shop for additional items for their twin babies. 3 weeks later, Mahnoor gave birth to 2 beautiful daughters, Nala and Addae. Azibo's mother arrived at their home to help care for her grandchildren. As the years passed, it became evident that Addae's growth was not as rapid as Nala's. Concerned, they took the children for a medical checkup, where the doctor assured them that both girls were healthy, but Addae would likely have a shorter height than Nala due to natural variation. Upon returning home, Azibo's mother began treating Mahnoor with disrespect and disdain. She complained about the child who didn't fit their lineage, suggesting that Addae's father must be a dwarf, insinuating that Azibo was not her biological father. Mahnoor was shocked and deeply hurt by her mother-in-law's sudden change of attitude. She confided in Azibo, but he remained silent and gradually started behaving strangely towards Addae and Mahnoor. Whenever Azibo returned from work, he showered Nala with gifts, beautiful toys, shoes, gowns, and more, while neglecting Addae entirely. He even stopped paying for Addae's school fees. On several occasions, he made Addae sit on the floor to eat while the rest of the family dined together at the table. Despite the mistreatment, Addae and Nala maintained a strong bond. Nala supported and protected her sister, sharing whatever she could to make Addae happy, except for clothes due to their different body features. Nala pursued a career in finance, aiming to take over Azibo's business empire. Meanwhile, Addae struggled to complete her studies due to financial constraints. She repeatedly asked her mother to reveal her biological father, as she couldn't understand why Azibo treated her with such disdain. Mahnoor reassured her that Azibo was her real father but explained that his negative attitude stemmed from her body stature. Nala, driven by her father's favoritism and arrogance, became increasingly bossy and arrogant in running the family business. Her behavior alienated potential partners and suitors. In contrast, Addae excelled in her medical career, displaying humility and kindness. Eventually, Addae married the love of her life, Jack, and they had a son named Jamal. Mahnoor was proud of Addae's achievements, encouraging her to focus on her strengths and live a fulfilling life as a woman. Azibo and Nala distanced themselves from Addae, refusing to acknowledge her accomplishments. However, Mahnoor continued to share Addae's success stories, hoping to change their perspective. Azibo's health deteriorated, and he urgently required medical attention for kidney problems. The local hospitals couldn't provide the necessary care, so he was transferred to an international hospital in the city. Desperate to save his life, Nala pleaded with the doctors, but they couldn't proceed without a specialist who was currently on vacation. In a twist of fate, it was revealed that Nala's kidneys were also compromised, leaving her unable to donate one. With just 20 hours left for Azibo to live, Addae, moved by compassion, decided to donate one of her kidneys to save her father's life. When Azibo regained consciousness and saw Addae by his side, he reacted with anger and disgust, instructing the doctors to keep her away from him. Addae, heartbroken, returned to her office and wept. Nala, realizing that Addae had given their father a chance at life, confronted him and emphasized how grateful he should be. Overwhelmed by guilt, Azibo wanted to make amends. Azibo, Mahnoor, Nala, and Addae were reunited, and Azibo sincerely apologized to Mahnoor and Addae for the pain he had caused them. He acknowledged his mistakes and regretted denying Addae the support she deserved throughout her life. He welcomed Jack into the family and promised to make it up to Jamal, his grandson. They all agreed to let go of their past hurts, choosing to live happily as a united and loving family once again.